one of the problems the NCAA has run into is they just weren't equipped for this amount of information to come into their system. Now, they can prosecute now their NCAA cases based on the information, the testimony, the documents that came out during the two college basketball trials. But they waited until those two trials were over. And there are at least 5, maybe 7 or 8 different schools that could get caught up in investigations. So far, we only have 2 notice of allegations in a very slow churning disciplinary way. And the NCAA stated that they need more time, and really this is going to be delayed some. So the slow wheels of NCAA justice do not go very well with the modern pace of society that sits there and says, hey, what's up? Do we have a suspension? Do we have this? What's going to happen? And that's why I think these have limited impact and really aren't top of mind as a really exciting night for college basketball begins.
You know, we played a soundbite at the very beginning, someone talking about how if Kansas gets caught, other programs need to watch out. Do you think, given the slow nature of this, the slow burn that you're talking about, that other programs are concerned about possibly also facing violations and what that may mean for their fan base and the attention paid to their program?
I think that the notice of allegations against Kansas, and particularly how directly the NCAA went after a Hall of Fame coach, national championship coach Bill Self, means that all of these schools should be extremely concerned. The NCAA is taking this seriously in what we've seen so far. So if you are Louisville, who could have a repeat offender clause put on you, if you're Auburn, if you're LSU, if you're any of these other schools, you should be very, very concerned. Arizona, about what might come, but it's going to come slowly. So it's a really kind of a weird deal where people are excited for the season, but we're used to kind of usual justice in sports where, you know, there's a late hit in the NFL and they decide in 2 days whether that guy's suspended this week or not. We're not getting that. It could be years, and that really takes some of the heat off of that. The other thing that happened was the way these trials played out. Much of the most explosive evidence and testimony was not presented because it didn't fit the way the federal government wanted to prosecute criminals. They weren't really interested in NCAA cases. So the part that people are really interested in, is this school going on probation? Is this Hall of Fame coach going to be fired? It didn't come out as much. And instead what we got was a bunch of low-level assistants getting put in jail or getting put on probation that really doesn't affect anybody.
You make a great point. I think that people look at these kinds of legal cases and they say everything should come in. We should see everything. That's not how cases are presented in court. So looking forward now, what comes next in these federal investigations and maybe even with the NCAA?
As we know right now, there's nothing else in the federal investigations. There is going to be a trial in January of Michael Avenatti, the kind of famed television attorney who was representing a whistleblower Nike AAU coach out in California. He ended up being charged with extorting Nike. That case could come that case is scheduled for January, and certainly a lot of information could come out there. Avenatti is going to wage a very aggressive defense. If you know Michael Avenatti at all, it's not going to be he's not going to go quietly on this. So that could be something. But in terms of the original investigations, those trials are done and buried and gone. It's really up to how quickly the NCAA's process takes the information and testimony gleaned from those cases publicly and then tries to use them in their own system.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.